When Daniel first heard the doctor say the words, "Your son might never hear you," his world collapsed. His 6-year-old boy, Liam, had been silent since birth. No words, no daddy, no laughter, just silence that cut deeper with every passing day. Daniel raised him alone after his wife passed away, pouring every ounce of love he had into caring for his son, but the silence was unbearable. He had learned to live with it, but it always felt like he was failing Liam somehow. When the new nanny, Clara, arrived, Daniel gave his usual warning, "Don't expect much. He doesn't respond. Doctors say he's deaf." Clara only smiled softly and knelt down to Liam's level. She didn't speak, she just looked at him, gently tilting her head as if listening to a secret only he could tell. To Daniel's surprise, Liam's eyes flickered with curiosity. Over the next week, Clara didn't follow the routine of testing him with words or shouting his name. Instead, she paid attention in a way no one else had. At lunch, when Liam tapped his fingers against the table in a steady rhythm, Clara tapped back with her spoon. His eyes lit up. At bedtime, when he dragged his toy cars and patterns on the floor, Clara copied him, arranging them the same way. It was as if she had stepped into his world instead of forcing him into hers. One evening, Daniel came home early and froze in the hallway. He heard laughter. His heart skipped. Was he imagining it? He rushed into the living room and saw Liam giggling, soundlessly at first, then letting out soft bursts of joy as Clara traced shapes in the air with her hands. Daniel's jaw tightened. "What is this? What are you doing to him?" Clara stood, calm but firm. "He's not deaf, Daniel. He understands. He's been trying to communicate all along, just not with words." Daniel shook his head. "That's impossible. I've tried everything." Clara knelt back beside Liam. She gently placed her palm against her heart, then pointed to him. Liam mirrored her. Then, with trembling fingers, he drew a shape in the air, half circle, half heart. Clara gasped. He's creating symbols. He's been building his own language. The realization hit Daniel like a wave. His son hadn't been lost in silence. He had been speaking, just in a way no one ever bothered to understand. From that moment, everything changed. Clara worked with Liam, helping Daniel learn the rhythms, gestures, and patterns his son had been using all his life. The first time Daniel managed to say, "I love you," using Liam's gestures, the boy threw his tiny arms around his father's neck. Daniel broke down, sobbing into his son's shoulder, overwhelmed by the sound of his own heart breaking and mending at once. Weeks later, Liam's laughter filled their home daily. Clara often reminded Daniel, it wasn't about him being silent. It was about us learning to listen differently. And Daniel realized she was right. For years, he had been waiting for his son to step into his world, never realizing the boy had been building a beautiful one of his own, patiently waiting for someone to enter. As the golden autumn sunlight streamed through the windows one quiet afternoon, Liam tugged at his father's sleeve and traced 3 familiar symbols in the air. Daniel responded without hesitation. Their eyes locked, and for the first time, he felt he truly knew his son, not through sound, but through something deeper. The silence no longer felt empty. It felt alive, filled with connection, understanding, and love that spoke louder than words ever could.